morning.
Thanks for coming today. I have one more of these. I'm going to go back to what we talked about in the beginning. Let me start the timer so I don't talk too long. That would help. 20 minutes you get. Start it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Declaration of Principles number 7. We affirm the moral responsibility of individuals. What does that mean? It means DY. How do you say that? DIY. DIY. We got to do it ourselves. And that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. So the laws are what I'm going to talk about today. These are 12 universal laws. I got one more copy. I handed some out. Anybody want this one? And I got one more after I'm done if somebody wants the one I need that I'm going to use. And thanks to Risa, I can see. Okay, number one. Number one is called the law of divine oneness. Everything in the universe is interconnected. Everything in existence originated from a single divine source. And we all possess that divine spark within us. I think you've heard before, God is in and through everything. Or whatever that source energy is, it's in all of us. We are all connected. Embrace unity consciousness. Live with the awareness that what you think and do affects everything else. Try to be kind, compassionate, and caring to all. I'm only going over these. These are you could spend a lifetime studying just one of these laws. So I'm just kind of throwing them out there for you to like investigate and experiment with on your own as you see fit, as Spirit directs you to. 2 is the law of vibration. Everything in existence vibrates. Similar vibrations attract. Be aware of your thoughts, words, and emotions. Our personal vibration attracts corresponding experience. So a simple way to say that is kind of like what you give out is what will come back. Change internal dialogue from negative to positive. Some examples of higher vibrations are gratefulness, happiness, and creativity. Our energy affects those around us and the environment we live in. This one's important. You are unique. Become your authentic self. The world needs what only you can be. I mean, that's really important. It's like you're the only one that lives in the sphere of influence that you live in, and only you can affect the people that you're around. And nobody else can do it. So it's kind of like you're in the driver's seat, whether you want to be or not. But we come here, that's what we are. 3, the law of correspondence. Correspondence, our external reality, acts as a mirror of our internal reality. By mastering ourselves, we change the world. Awareness of our thoughts and emotions. See how this keeps going back to personal responsibility. Number 1, we got to be aware of what we're doing. Otherwise, I mean, I know this in myself. Unfortunately, I've keep running my childhood patterns, and without awareness first, and then without taking responsibility, those patterns just repeat over and over and over. And you got to throw a wrench in the work by taking responsibility to say, okay, enough of this. It's time for a change. For example, as we address and handle our own anger, we can prevent it from affecting others. Unfortunately, my beautiful wife Jan, it's been the result of tons and tons and tons of my anger. And, it's not right. And it's up to me to change that. Without me making a change, it affects everybody else. We can transform our external reality by addressing and healing our inner wounds one at a time. By loving ourselves, we can create a better experience for all. Okay, the law of attraction. This one has also been put out in the world recently. It's called The Secret. whatever we consistently focus on in our lives, be it negative or positive, that's what we attract. And this happens whether we believe it or not. It just is. Our thoughts and emotions have a direct effect on our reality. Just like a magnet, we attract. The key of this law is active visualization. Vividly imagine what you want in your life. And let's try that again. Vividly imagine what your life will feel like once you achieve your goal. Consistently think and feel that you've achieved your goal, and the universe will manifest it to you. Affirm that you already have it in the present. That's like the power of the mind. We got to create it in our mind before it happens in the physical world. The law of action. That's number 5. For every action there is a result. Do not wait for the right time to take action. First, set a clear intention. Emotionally believe in its attainment, and then take action when you feel motivated. As the prayer, we say a prayer for healing here, and it says, I will do my part. So we are co-creators with the healing. And so in essence, the law of action says, start now, start small and act now. Or, as it was said in a movie, it says, seize the day. Today is the day that we have to make a change, if we decide to do so. Okay, 6, the law of energy. I like this one. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. This law governs interactions that are both beneficial and detrimental. Pay attention to activities, individuals, and obligations that deplete your energy. Keep these limited to conserve energy. Recharge by spending time in nature. Engage in physical activity. Eat healthy foods. Get enough sleep. Remember that the energy is you, which is your consciousness. And as we said, it can't be destroyed, so you cannot die. The only thing that's going to happen when we call it transition in this philosophy, and that our spirit is eternal and it's going to go on. So every person and every animal that we have loved and lost is still alive. That energy is alive. And it's my belief that when we make the transition, that we're going to be reunited with all those that we've loved, both animal and people. 7, the law of cause and effect. What am I doing on time? Not too bad. Yeah, at least half's left. Light just shuts off and then I can't see it anymore. Okay, the law of cause and effect. Every action we take results in consequences that extend through time. By careful decision making, we can shape our future by considering how our actions will affect others. Focus on positive behavior. Utilize compassion, wisdom, and patience, and avoid causing pain and suffering. Take conscious action, create positive ripples. 8, the law of compensation. You reap what you sow. Every action has a corresponding reaction and returns, oops, I think I typed this wrong, that returns the invested energy. Every action we take, whether positive or negative, will ultimately come back to us. Right? Sometimes they call that karma. Perform acts of kindness without seeking anything in return. The universe will respond in time and you will have satisfaction. You are helping the world to become a better place. I brought some evidence of that with me today. As many of you know, I've been making, the universe inspired me to start making bracelets a little over a year ago, and I decided I'm just going to give these things out. I don't need the money for them, and I just want to put positive energy into the world. And this is like proof of the ripple effect. That my brother had a family get-together, I don't know how long, sometime last year. And my cousin, whose name is Gay Taberman Boos, was there. And I gave her a bracelet and it said joy on it. And she wore it around and she had a friend that saw it and said, oh, I like that. And she contacted me and she said, would you make one of these for my friend? And she said, put the word, she wants the word joy on it, on hers too. And she said she likes the color of pink and something else. And I had pink beads, which were rose quartz, which are like a loving energy to them. So I made her one. And then she lives down in Waterford. I happened to be down there. And I dropped it off at her house when she wasn't home. And again, I give these things unconditionally. I don't want, I don't ask for anything back, but I get this card in the mail. Thank you card, flowers on it, and it says this. It says, Dear Peter, your joy bracelet is giving me great joy and happiness every day. As something as is your thoughtfulness, giving the joy and gratefulness every day. Thank you, Barbara Lopardo. So, I don't know, it's awesome. It's awesome to love. I highly encourage it. Okay, 9, law of relativity. All things can only be measured by how they relate to something else, greater or lesser. Martin Seligman, who was a psychologist, this is his quote, authentic happiness flourishes not through comparisons, but through embracing gratitude for our own unique journey. Stop comparing and start appreciating what you have and who you are. Because as I said before, each of us is we're unique and we each have gifts. There's no one that comes to earth that isn't given gifts by the Creator. And it's our personal responsibility to figure out what our gifts are, which a key is like, what do you enjoy doing? Like, musicians or whatever, they enjoy playing music and they practice and they get better and better, and look at the impact they have on the world. They do one song, and then once that song's recorded and broadcast, that makes people happy all over forever. If it's been recorded. What a gift. Or look at artists. Artists have painted masterpiece pictures or whatever, and they're long gone, but their pictures, I remember looking at a Vincent van Gogh picture decades ago in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, and we're just getting to the season now, spring, and Vincent, he painted like an apple tree or something with the blossoms on it, and just standing at that, looking at that, I could feel the warmth of the sun and everything, just looking at that picture. And he painted like really thick. He used a lot of paint and everything. It was very expressive. And he found his gift. And during his lifetime, he never sold a single painting. He thought he was a failure. Oh. So, again, the thing with the law of compensation and everything that you do puts energy out there, and then it comes back. So never hesitate to do what you can do. How we doing? 6:54.
You good.
Okay, law of polarity is number 10. Everything has an opposite. All things in existence require duality. Opposing energies seek equilibrium through attraction and repulsion. With every negative there's a positive. Every problem has a corresponding solution. I threw this one in here, never give up. Challengers are there to overcome. And it's like sometimes it bugs me when I think about polarity and stuff, and I say, why does there have to be evil? Wouldn't it be better if everything was just hunky-dory and beautiful and everything, but we wouldn't grow if that was the case. I mean, it's designed with infinite intelligence. It just is. So, a book that I read about polarity, or I don't know, to me it's polarity. It's a book by a guy named Viktor Frankl, and he was Jewish and he was stuck in the concentration camps in World War II. And his everyday experience was nothing but suffering. Not only the suffering of his own, because they basically starved him and worked him to death, but also the suffering of all those around. And the way that he was able to deal with that was to use his mind. And even though he was in a bad situation, he didn't focus on the situation. I guess this is one of the earlier laws. This is what the law of attraction. What you focus on is what your reality is going to become. And what he did in that situation, basically, is that he remembered experiences with his beloved wife, who, and literally at the time, he didn't know it, but she'd already been killed. But he just remembered the good times, and he kept reliving those in his mind, and that gave him peace, basically in hell. So we do have, our mind is really powerful. 11, the law of rhythm. Reality operates in cycles with periods of growth and decline. Keep in mind, everything is temporary. There will be ups and downs. Reminds me of this song I heard a little while ago called "Life is Not a Merry-Go-Round, It's a Roller Coaster." I don't know if you heard it, but it's really a good song. There is success and failure. Realize that everything is in divine order and for your benefit. And this saying you might have heard before, the only constant is change. Go with the flow. So, like, you know, just accept it. We're going to have times when we feel bad or when our mood is bad, but realize that that will pass and that it'll go up again. And then when you're on the up, enjoy the up. But realize that it ain't going to last forever. But enjoy it while we're there. I mean, I was in another religion for a decade, and one of the things that I remember from that one is they said men are, and I don't only mean men, I mean women, but men are that they might have joy. And that's like, I would say that our Creator wants us to have as much joy as possible. Not that we can maintain it all the time, but that, you know, enjoy it. We're here to experience life, so experience it. And last is the law of gender. But,
No, that's fine.
You go through your children.
okay, the law of gender, and this is supposedly, this is more than just male and female, but obviously we know, like, the Creator did create male and female, and I mean, it's in everything. It's in plant life, it's in human life. Well, I don't know if it's in rocks or soil, but we do know with plant life or whatever, there is, like, there's sex or whatever to make plants grow. But the balance, it's the principle, the balance of existence through the principles of masculine and feminine characteristics, which we all have them in both of us. Seek to balance masculine and feminine energy. Every individual has a unique combination of these energies, and both are necessary for success. Combine these traits to achieve equity, sustainability, and peace. And I was thinking about this the other day, about our world or whatever, and it reminds me also of James Brown. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember James Brown, but he had a song, and he said it's a man's world or whatever, and then he says, but it's nothing without a woman. And so that's the balancing of the energies. And unfortunately, in this world, it's a man-dominated world. I was thinking about the governments or whatever of the world, and I think back about Donald Trump, and when he was president, we had Merkel or whatever, there was the equal leader in Germany. He wouldn't even shake her hand or nothing, you know. He just denies that, and I mean,
and he walked in front of the Queen.
He what?
He walked in front of the Queen.
Oh boy, so he doesn't believe in that balance. He wants everything one way. But I mean, he's free to do that. And how much time I got now? I wanted to, I don't know, what I call her, an ex-wife. I don't think of her that way, but I have another cousin, Gay's brother, he has one brother named Stephen, he lives in Vermont. They're divorced, but they live together, so I guess there's still a bond there, but legally they're divorced. But anyway, she's very political, and she wrote this letter, or this note and thing, and how upset she is that she thinks that Trump will be reelected and everything. I think he will be. But it's not that I want that, it's not what I want at all. But the principle of the fact that, I guess back to Viktor Frankl or whatever, if things are beyond our control, like the reality in Connecticut is, the president is decided by a system called electoral votes. Connecticut only has like 2, I think. And so, I mean, whatever, to me, it doesn't, we can go and vote and everything, but there's not enough electoral votes to swing it one way or the other way, but that's the system we live in. And then let's say that he is reelected or whatever, or no matter what happens, to me it's that law of balance or something. Like we look in the world right now, we got two wars going, but we don't, thank God, have a world war. You know, like not all the countries are fighting. There's basically four, there's my time's up. There's four factions are fighting. But when you look at the global thing, you know, thank God we live in this country where we have relative peace. Or we can go about our business and we don't have to, if we go to the store or go to work, we don't have to worry about being mowed down by a machine gun or something. So there is, even though there's lots of problems in the world, on a whole, it's good. So something must be going okay. So thanks for listening. If anybody wants this other copy, they're free to just ask me, you may have it. And this church is a beautiful thing. The thing I love about it is it's your way. It's like you decide what you're going to work on, but it's personal responsibility. And you can go at your own speed and whatever. But whatever it is, it's all good. Thank you.
Thank you.